Then you have stuff like this. I mean, who doesn't want a metal detect around standing chimneys and old cellar holes and that kind of thing? And hey everybody, welcome back to Off Trail Treasures. My name is Ben. I am at a park this morning. It is early, it's 8 a.m. I'm here with my buddy Phil. Phil runs Metal Detecting Treasures of Missouri and Illinois, and he and I met up today to go up there. We're at a park with some history today. Nothing of super important history, but long history. There was a resort up here from 1910 to about 1942, and we've got a bunch of the old properties mapped out. If you want to see how we did some of that, I put up a video a couple weeks ago of how you can get on and use some free websites to find them. But right now we're gonna head up and we're gonna see what we can find. We'll see you up there. All right, we have made our way up the hill. It's always a little bit of a climb and a little bit worse than I expected. You can see Phil back there has gotten started. So this resort was not the cleanest of teardowns. In some places, in some respects it is. Some of the old map information I have shows a lot of cabins, and when you go to those spots right now, it was a very clean teardown. There's trash in the ground, but there isn't building construction materials all over the place. But then sometimes there's stuff like this. I think you can see that right there. That is a flight of steps that was leading up to a larger building that I suspect was something of a clubhouse where they gathered. And then that right there, all that blue that you can see, that's the old pool that they actually didn't even bother to take out. It's fully accessible. The last time I was here, I noticed that there were well-placed trees and things like that in there, where I assumed that they did them kind of like up at an angle so that animals could climb out. There's a couple of dead possums and armadillos in there. But I'm going to start up here by this staircase. There's a cool old kitchen that I'll take a little bit of video on behind it afterwards. But I'm going to get up in here in this thick, nasty stuff and see if I can find something old. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. All right, folks, man, filming in here is going to be interesting. There's hardly a flat spot to set the tripod down anywhere, but I got a jumpy signal right here, anywhere from upper 30s to upper 40s, but we're going to go ahead and dig it and see what we get. Probably garbage. I do not like jumpy signals on the Legend. It is almost always garbage, but we're here to dig, so we're not going to be super picky today. It's a trashy area, so there's all kinds of stuff that could be getting in the way by the county. So we're not going to be terribly picky about how we dig our holes, because this couldn't be a less kept park. I mean, it's essentially got a walking trail through the center of it, and that's about it. So none of y'all get on to me about how sloppy my plugs are today. If it's still that deep, we're gonna have to give up. Well, I'm not gonna dig to China for a jumpy signal. Let's keep going. I'll bring you in on the next one. All right, we got our second diggable signal here. I'll let you guys listen to it. That's coming in at a 33, 35. Sounds real surfacey, so I'm gonna get down there with my probe and see if I can just hear it. Oh yeah, that's gonna be garbage. Way too near the surface. Let's see what we're looking at. That in particular was a nail. Nails can ring high on the Legend, so I'm not going to be surprised if this is a couple nails. Oh, that is going to be a molten piece of metal. Obviously, we're going to take that with us. All right, I just had my tripod break on me. I don't know if it's because of the cold or if it's because it's cheap or both, but Phil and I moved up the road a little bit. We're now where some of the cabins stood in this little clearing, and I am actually in the road, and I've got a decent little signal here. Where was it? Right here. 36, 37. It's tight enough to pique my interest, and I'm going to dig it. So let's see what we get. Broken tripod means y'all are going to get some shaky digging. Maybe I'll try my chest harness again. I might have to, because it's cold enough to need both of my hands here. Let's see if we can hear it. Definitely in the plug and sounding a little better. Let's get the probe. Right there. Let's see here. Oh, just a pull tab, or beaver tail, excuse me. Beaver tails always ring a little higher. All right, let's keep going. All right, guys, Phil has the first coin of the day. We're right back where I was when I dug that beaver tail a second ago. We're in one of the spots where the cabin was. He hasn't really checked it out yet, but we're gonna do a little uncovering and see what we find. I'm gonna flip you around. All right, penny size it looks like. Almost looks like it's got a little bit of green on it too. A little copper in it. He's only about 10 or 15 yards from where I found an Indian, so hopefully. Ooh, look at all that green.
Wow.
It's a little, oh, I think I saw Lincoln. We're looking at a Wheatie.
Yeah, there's Lincoln.
Okay.
So,
with that much green, almost,
yeah,
gotta be a wheat penny. 1910 to 1942 era means we probably had both in circulation.
Yeah, it's a wheat. It says 1 cent.
Yep. All right, cool. So Phil made his way, I'm going to spend a little bit more time in this brushy area. Phil made his way back to where it starts to open up. I suspect, because this is where the trash and the number of signals picks up, I suspect this was probably parking lot and that the cabin was back here somewhere. And there was a string of them, so we're basically going to hop from cabin site to cabin site and try to dig out some more goodies. We'll keep you posted. All right, we are right over where Phil found his wheat scent, and I have got a pretty good signal right over here. I'm back to the chest harness, folks, because I broke my tripod a little bit ago. Thank goodness for Amazon free returns, but let's see. Sorry about that. Someone told me I didn't have my chest harness tight enough, so I've tried to tighten it up a little bit, see if it makes it usable. But we got a nice high tone. It sounds kind of big, but there's also stuff next to it, so we're gonna see what we get. But that's up there in the quarter range and pretty deep, so let's get in there. Oh, something really far up high. That wasn't deep at all like it said. Got it though. What are we looking at here? There's a root going through it. Man, it's really stuck in there too. Yep. Yep, that's nothing precious, just a part off of something. All right, there was another signal right next to it. Let me get on that, and if it's anything good, I'll bring you back on. If not, we'll see you in the next one. All right, I'm back. These were cabin teardowns, so there's a lot of stuff to sift through, but the good stuff is here. Phil just found that wheat penny, and I found my Indian not too far from where he was, and a little bit closer to where I am now, and sitting on a kind of a good jumpy but high sounding signal, and it's small and deep. That's what's doing it for me. It's small and deep. So we're gonna dig a hole here and see what we get. Sounds even higher and a little bigger. So let's see. We're gonna get the probe in there, see what we get. All right, let me root around in this for a second. I'll be right back. All right, I got a little bit of a better target area. Let's see what we got here. Thought I saw something metal in there, but maybe not. Oh, what do we got here? Man, another nail. These have been ringing up super high for me lately for some reason. I'm gonna have to check my settings and see if it's something I'm doing. Sounds like that was gonna be it. Let's keep going. All right, I'm still at the side of the first cabin that we stopped at, and this is a pretty exciting sounding tone. See, we're looking at 47. Occasional jump down to 46, but kind of high up in the ground, but not terribly shallow. But good signal. So let's see what we got. Forgot where it was already. Okay, right by that little twig. Anybody else mark their spots mentally when they got to sit down their detector? My marker was this little twig right here. So anyway. Oh, did we see it? Oh, that's an acorn. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, look at that. It is, oh, wrong side. That's a baby spoon bowl. It's light. I don't think it's, yeah, no, not silver. Not even silver plated. Feels like aluminum, but I don't find those very often. Pretty cool find. It means they were sitting here playing by this big old oak tree, which is definitely old enough to have been here when the resort was here. All right, that's cool. Let's keep going. All right, got a nice little medium tone here. We're looking at 35, 37. That would put us in, oh gosh, beaver tail, some Indian head scent range. So it's a little deep, not terribly deep, but let's get down here and see what we got. In the hole, I see it right there. Nothing pressure, looks like it's gonna be trash. Let's go get a look-see. What are we looking at here? Oops. Some kind of band of some kind. Aluminum. Oh, there's little holes in it. What that was. All right, let's keep going. Me and Phil are gonna find another spot. Now sitting at more solid dime signal. Let's get in here. Okay. Oh, it's a coin. guys see that? It's a coin right there. Let's give it a look-see. I'm gonna call Phil over. He said he wanted me to let him know. Hey Phil, I got a coin.
What's that?
I got a coin in the plug.
I'm sorry.
I got a coin in the plug.
What do you got?
Don't know yet. Getting ready to pull it out. All right, let's see. All right.
What size?
Penny size. Let's see. Oh, there is Mr. Lincoln right there. Oh, pretty modern. I think you guys can see that, 1962. That's gonna make this a memorial cent. All right, nothing fantastic, but there is still stuff out here to be found, so let's keep looking. All right, we have moved on to the unknown clearing. I know from satellite pictures that this, or I guess aerial at the time, this has been an open field since 1936 at least. I mean, it's probably earlier than that, but a 1936 photo confirms it. And I mean, I have found bullets and change and refrigerator logo, logo insignias that they put on the front of the refrigerator, all kinds of things out here. So it's loaded, it's got good stuff, it's got bad stuff, but it is easier swinging, and it's been a field for a really long time. So we're gonna get out here and see what we can find. You can see Phil out there digging his first hole right now, and I'm gonna go join him. I'll catch you guys up on the first one. All right guys, we are in the field now. I'll show you Phil over there digging. I just dug this hole. It started off being a little trashy, and it cleaned up a little bit. It was deeper than I expected, so we're gonna get down in here. We're gonna see what we got. Oh, now it's pinpointing really large. Oh, is this it? Yeah, we got, looks like copper. It's nice and green, totally flat. I don't see any writing on it or anything, but I'm gonna take a toothbrush to it, and if it's anything significant, I'll be right back. If not, we'll see you in the next one. I guess it's some kind of a spoon day for me. Found that spoon bowl earlier. In the shadow, you aren't gonna see anything. And now I have probably a teaspoon measurer. So we can straighten that out. I would imagine that's something in the neighborhood of 1 teaspoon. Sitting out here in the middle of the field. Let's see what else we can find. All right, dug a 44-46 signal. It's out of the hole, not as deep as I thought it was. Not sure if we're gonna wind up with a coin here or not. Oh, actually, I think I can see the edge of it right. Oh, that wasn't it. So let's go ahead and, what is that, glass? Let's go ahead and get the probe out and see what we're looking at. Oh, it is a coin. Y'all see that? We got a coin right there. What do y'all think it's gonna be? Oh, no, do I see a Lincoln memorial on it? Yes, I do. It's gonna be a Lincoln. There's President Lincoln, and it's gonna be a 1971. All right, let's keep going. I have kind of a love-hate relationship with this place. There's a lot of really cool history about it. Old resort from that's kind of cool, and the fact that it had that they ran it themselves from 1910 to 1942 is pretty neat. And then you have stuff like this. I mean, who doesn't want a metal detector around standing chimneys and old cellar holes and that kind of thing? And one of the things that's a little frustrating about it is that I've talked to a bunch of metal detectors who've been in this area and metal detecting for a lot longer than I have, and a lot of them have not heard of it. So you would think that it's some kind of a well-kept secret, but you know, sometimes when they demo like this and stuff just sits, and they demo like this and stuff just sits, it becomes some harder detecting. You know, Phil pulled out a wheat penny today, and I was telling him that my threshold for excitement is anything that's no longer in circulation. So that definitely qualified, and I found 2 or 3 memorial pennies, some bullets, and some trash. Not the greatest day of detecting, but getting out and exploring and just engaging in the challenge of trying to pull something valuable, something neat, something old and cool out of places like this is always a good time. So I'm gonna see if we can put together a wrap up down by the cars. We got a little bit of a hike down that steep road that you guys saw from us coming in, and if we can put together a little wrap up, I'll show it to you here in just a second. See you soon. All right, everybody, we made it back to the vehicles. We got a wrap up board to show you. Phil, it was great detecting with you. Joe, say hi. Joe joined us later in the day, probably only got like an hour of detecting in. Half of his was walking, unfortunately, because that is a hike. But let's go over the board real quick. I'll show you what we found. Here's a bunch of my trash. I found, let's see, I found a measuring spoon, 2 memorials, 45. This is Joe's, looks like brass or buckle of some kind. And over here, Phil found some kind of a strap thing, a bullet, this really cool lock, his 1921 wheat, and a fishing reel of all things. So there's still some good stuff up in there. I'm gonna keep hammering it over the years. Like I said, a little bit of a love-hate relationship, lots of stuff there, but a real messy teardown. Became something of a dump later on, but there's some stuff in there, and we're gonna keep hammering it away, and we're gonna find more and more and just take our time. And man, I really believe that we might be the only people that that detect it. So we can take our time, hit it slowly over the years, and just see what we can dig out. But we'll see you next week. We'll hit another spot with some history in it and see what we can find.